I'm not actually sure if you heard any of that. I don't think my mic was on. Let me start over. Anyway, hello and welcome to another game of Strider's Daily Cast. This is going to be a very, very exciting game because first game I get to see with the new Swain buff. So I'm super excited about that. That's really what I wanted to see this match for. It is another high ELO game. Everybody's around 20 to 2200 ELO. Although the red team is very, very interesting as far as their team composition, because they have two supports, but they're not like really popular supports. So I don't know, and they have two AP. I don't know. Morgana I've seen as a support recently in a couple of the recent tournaments. So I'm not sure if they're gonna run her as a support. I doubt it since they already have two others. But it's still very, very, very interesting to see what they have, because they have 4 champions that deal primarily magic damage, and then they have Shyvana. They do have the magic resist shred from Morgana's pool and Soraka's star call. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can get a really nice tormented soil star call combo on the teams. They're going to have to be really, really tanky in order for that to happen. So we'll see how it goes out. And then on the other team, there's a Swain, which again I'm really excited about because it's the new Swain, and the new Swain skin is so sick. But then we have an Udyr, we have a Kennen, and then Ezreal Taric. And Ezreal Taric did take the two bottom golems here to get that extra little bit of boost in lane, so they will hit level 2 before the Soraka Sona lane. It's going to be very difficult for them to really do anything. Interesting. Doran's Blade Sona. This is going to be really interesting. I'm kind of excited because I think this might be another one of those like AD LeBlanc type things where it's really, really kind of unheard of, but it's relatively strong. You never know. She does have a lot of auras that she does kind of just give out to the whole team, especially with her movement speed, her attack damage, and AP, everything that she gives out. So it could be very interesting. We'll see how it goes. So far, lanes look relatively even. Nothing too crazy going on. No junglers are ganking yet. The golems just spawned for Udyr again, so that's really nice. That it was perfect timing. It was like right when he got there, they came back up. Udyr's probably going to go back after this. He does have one more health potion, so he might do that, but he will be kind of out of mana at that point. But then again, he did just get a nice little chunk. Yep, so he is pinging for Morgana. Morgana is very, very difficult to kill early on because of that black shield, but she's level 3 and she has not picked up her black shield yet. So that'll be really, really interesting. She was able to dodge that never move from Swain. She's able to get a little bit of creep damage on there. Udyr does come around from the back, and he looks like he's going in for... that was a great flash from Morgana. Udyr flashes after it, but Shyvana is there to thwart him off. And that was a nice little wasted flash from Udyr. And Udyr looks like he's going in. That was a great spell shield from Morgana, able to get that Shyvana away from the never move. And that was a great, great play. A lot of Morganas, you see, a lot of them just put the spell shield on themselves, and they don't even use it on their teammates. So it's a really, really good improvement to see that being used a lot more as a support tool, like it's kind of meant for, because it's not only a self buff like a lot of people use it for. It's really, really nice. Spell shield gets so strongly in the game too. Once she gets enough AP, it just stacks up so much. I mean, right now it doesn't absorb that much damage, but it will still absorb the next CC. It's like a Banshee's Veil. It doesn't cost that much mana, so it's really, really nice. Yeah, as you can tell, this AD Sona really is not taking much damage, if anything, from the Shatter combo. Udyr did get spotted here, so he will probably not stay here very long. He did get spotted when he went back out again. They are coming in for the gank. Shyvana is going to be hitting, but nothing does come of it. because she never gets... Yeah, with Lightning Rush, it's really, really difficult to gank Kennen with with Morgana's spell shield or with her black shield, it's really, really hard to gank her. With Sona, Soraka, I would assume it's pretty difficult to gank them just because they have so many heals. Sona's just destroying over there. And they keep pinging this Udyr. Udyr's just hanging out down here because he wants extra. He wants to get a kill on one of them down there because he thinks they're free. Because neither of them have escapes, which is really nice. Udyr does see Morgana. Morgana does pop the snare. So that was a good move by Morgana. She popped the spell shield, but she knew that she was just going to get auto attacked to death because Udyr did have that red buff at the time. Doesn't anymore, but she was able to prevent the bear stun from Udyr and then turn around and just throw a dark binding and kind of prevent that out a little bit. Really like the new graphics on this Swain skin. It's beautiful. Riot's really stepped up their game when it comes to skins. I've been very, very impressed lately. Katarina might be going back. She's kind of going in, but kind of going back. They did spot Udyr come through this bush, so they do know he is there. He's probably camping out blue buff, making sure that they are not going to take it from them, which is a really, really good play, because a lot of times, once they have the timer on this, especially now that they have it warded, they're going to know exactly when it spawns, or really close when it spawns. So when it spawns, they'll be either there set up, because at this ELO, it's crazy. The counter ganking that comes out, especially a lot lately, you'll see that most people have been starting fights at blue buff more than dragon, which I think is a little crazy, but blue buff is just so powerful. If you can shut down that AP mid for long enough, just make them use all their mana and then make them think they're going to get blue buff and then smite steal it from them, it's catastrophic, absolutely catastrophic. And as you can see, Udyr does get pinged here, and Morgana does pop her ult. Swain goes in the bush, face checks with the ult, is able to get out. She does throw a dark binding out and was able to stun the Udyr. But yeah, it looks like both teams are going to get out. Katarina was pinged that she's missing, so Swain might go down here because he has no way to get Katarina out. He was able to flash away, which is really, really good on his part. I'm glad that he was able to get that. Udyr is really, really dangerous right now. He is in their jungle, and I don't think he's going to be able to get away with this because he does not have... Yeah, he got caught by the dark binding. He's not going to be able to get away. And that is the first blood to Shyvana, giving her the first blood and blue buff. Wow! And that just did so much damage. Okay, so Ezreal tried to blink out of there, tried to arcane shift. Excuse me. Tried to arcane shift out of there, but he was caught in a crescendo from Sona, and then Sona just auto attacked him down like crazy. There was nothing he was going to be able to do about that. And then with Shyvana just following it up, it was pretty much a good game on that kill. And now they're going to take the first dragon of the game, which does go down. The dragon does reset, which is really, really bad. But they did use Smite. Smite is down, but there's still no danger of the blue team coming and stealing it from the red team. So that's also really, really good. So first dragon does go down, and that should be... Ezreal ult does come out, but it does miss. It's just a little bit delayed. Next dragon should be spawning at about 13 minutes. Well, like 13:45, but... Yeah, so about 13:45, we might see a fight going down at Dragon. Should hopefully be pretty interesting. So, Swain really doesn't want that Morgana to recall right away because he knows that she's going back and she's going to get a nice fat chunk of items. So any form of delay that he can push his lane a little bit harder and prevent her from getting as much experience as she wants. And Udyr is pinging to get some backup, but Katarina's there and does start before... Oh, wow! Swain does not quite make it. He was not able to get either of them in that never move. Shyvana ulted right when she saw that never move go down, and Katarina already had Shumpo'd to the Udyr, so was able to get away. That was very unfortunate. Katarina did a great move by starting her... oh man, I don't even remember what it's called now. Her Death Lotus, there we go. She's starting her Death Lotus right here in the middle of the lane, so that when Udyr came around the corner, she was already hitting him, and he wasn't able to go around the corner with that bear stance and stun her out of it. It was best for him just to keep running past it. So that's what he did, and then right when he got to the max range, she just shumpoed to him and auto-attacked him through a blade, through a bouncing blade, and I mean, you know the rest of the story from there, but it was a really, really good play by Katarina. She didn't want to just shumpo to him and then immediately start the Death Lotus because Udyr has a very, very, very quick stun, especially when you shumpo right on top of him. It's you basically be guaranteed to get stunned out of your ultimate as Katarina. So she started around the corner, out of the vision, wasn't able to do anything, and that was the best play that she could have possibly done. Morgana didn't quite get that spell shield, the black shield, off on time, so she did get snared. She did get a little bit of harass on that. So Swain's just kind of being a bully as much as he can, which is really, really good for Swain. Swain definitely needs the farm if he's going to be a late game threat. So once he gets a few tanky AP items, it looks like he might be going for a Rod of Aegis here. So once he gets that and possibly like a Rylai's, which would be ridiculous, but you know, he gets like 3,000 health. He's becomes a force to be reckoned with pretty heavily, and it's just an AoE slow. Oh, there's a big fight going down here. Crescendo does come out. Shyvana ult does go in, and so does the Soraka ult. And Shyvana gets a double kill, and it looks like... Oh, nope, okay, yeah. Udyr was not able to get away. The range on Sona's spells are so super long. And that was really good move by him. Oh, that was scary. I am assuming that, yeah, it looks like Katarina possibly jumped on to... Yeah, I think Katarina jumped on a Kennen and started her Death Lotus and did quite a bit of damage because he was almost dead. That's really bad. Oh, and then activating that when he has his health potion. That bouncing blade, when the bouncing blade hits with Killer Instincts, it just makes it so that... Okay, so Kennen had a ward there. The blue team did have a ward there, so they did see Katarina jump over, throw that ward there, and jump over. She is going to be able to shumpo to Shyvana, which is really good map awareness on Shyvana's part to be able to be right there to provide Katarina with that type of backup. Like I was saying earlier, that Killer Instincts with the bouncing blade prevents incoming healing on the Kennen. So Kennen popped a health potion, so she tried really hard to get a bouncing blade with Killer Instinct hitting Kennen, which prevented healing. There was a flash brought down. She might go down, but doesn't look like she was able to go down. Swain did get snared, unfortunately for him, but he is still able to get out of there with a little bit of health left, and he's just going to pop his ult to basically regenerate all of it. The Katarina does start her ult, and Kennen is going to go down after that, and she is still able to get away. So Kennen kind of ran into that. I think he probably should have face checked with his Lightning Rush on because it does improve his defenses, so his armor and magic resist, as well as if he went in there with his Storm on, it's possible he could have ulted her out of that a lot sooner and he wouldn't have taken nearly as much damage. So that was possibly a little bit of a misplay on Kennen's part, but he probably learned from it. Not many people play Katarina, so it's really possible that he's just not used to the way that Katarina plays and doesn't know all the intricacies of what he needs to do in order to counter Katarina completely. Very possible. So Katarina does take this top tower, which is really good for the red team, and the dragon should be spawning here in about 10 seconds, so that you might see them start shifting over. Yeah, red team just pinged for dragon. So you are going to see them shift over towards dragon. Morgana was pinged, so they do think that she is coming down through Tribush, but luckily for the blue team, they do have a ward in Tribush, so that will not be the case. Crescendo does go down, preventing the rest of the damage that Ezreal and Taric could have done. Super unfortunate because it looked like they were about to pick up that kill. I don't think Ezreal... Yeah, Ezreal did not have his ult, so he wasn't going to be able to pick that up, unfortunately. Looks like Morgana's still hanging out right near Race, which is really, really weird. She's losing quite a bit of experience, and they do know she's there now, and they might chase her down, but she's really just kind of zoning them away from the dragon. So yeah, she's gonna throw her tormented soil down under the dragon, and it's just gonna stack a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage because it does damage per second, not just a little bit. So blue team is pinging for Kennen to take the second top tower because they know they're taking dragon, although red team can take dragon super fast. Kennen's going to be in a lot of trouble because he just uses lightning rush, and he has 3 people making a beeline right now. So yeah, she's going to do a lot of damage. Might actually kill him. That was a perfect dark binding by the Morgana, and good guy Shyvana lets Morgana pick up the kill with the tormented soil. And now they're just, Swain is pushing mid, trying to pick up the slack for what happened with Kennen. He saw the gank up top, tried to take the opportunity and push mid as hard as he could. Now that Morgana is back, he's not going to be able to push nearly as hard. She can push just as hard back with the dark binding. And now he also has to be wary of the Shyvana. They are pinging for him. She did miss the dark binding. Oh, she didn't put a black shield on her for the never move. It just barely ran out, unfortunately. Yeah, she had her ult activated, so that soul shackle was so close to going down on Swain. But Swain did have his ult up, so even if he was stunned, he would have still been generating health off of every single tick that his crows were getting. So, or ravens, sorry. It turns into a raven. Yes, ravens. Lesser ravens. Sorry. He's the raven, they're lesser ravens. You never know in these games anymore. This is very interesting. You see Sona with so much CS. It's really weird to actually see that. She's keeping up with Ezreal. Even with Ezreal's insane range, Sona also has some pretty nice range to her. If we see the gold difference, we see that Sona has 5,700 and Ezreal has 4,700. So it looks like every single person on the red team has more than every single person on the purple team, or on the blue team, except for Soraka. Soraka, as their support, naturally will not get as much gold. And she only has 1 gold per 10 item currently. So it looks like Swain is getting focused down. Swain is definitely going to go down here, but he will take down Morgana with him. And that was a really good play by him. He realized that he was going to go down because there was 3 of them, so he needed to take one down with him at least. That was his goal, and he succeeded with that. It's much better than just trying to run away, not doing any damage, and still not getting away. I mean, you may feel better about it, say, hey, at least I tried, but being able to do the damage and get a kill in exchange 1-for-1 in a 1 vs 3 scenario is really good. If I was Taric, I probably would have saved that stun for that particular scenario. So Shyvana was able to jump up on the Kennen, and looks like Taric is going to get picked off now. Yeah, so I think Taric used his stun a little bit too soon, just a little bit. He definitely should have waited until Katarina started her Death Lotus before using his Dazzle. He was a little bit too bedazzling. Kennen was, since the gank happened in mid and then they transitioned to bottom, Kennen was able to pick up top without any problems this time. He didn't have to worry about 3 people on the red team coming up to gank him. He was just able to push it for nothing. So that's excellent. And I missed that. So I'm going to go back and try to see if I can get that kill. Do see a huge damage. So many heals going out though from Soraka. Soraka pops her heal. Sona pops her heal twice. Oh, that was crazy. It took a long time for them to take her down, but it looks like they were finally able to DPS her down, and that's all she wrote. That's the way the cookie crumbles, I suppose. They were almost able to take. I hate the replay function sometimes. No, Taric, what are you doing? Taric's crazy. They're almost able to take that bottom tower, but they were able to get away. Swain is just barely able to get away from the rest of that team fight, so that's really, really good for Swain. It looks like Kennen and Ezreal are pushing mid now. They were able to get that down, and they are going to be able to get away as well. It's really, really good on Blue's team. They're baiting their whole team out. They're taking advantage of red team clumping up and grouping together and staying as a team by split pushing, in a sense. Like, that's all they're doing. They're like, okay, if you guys are gonna gang up on us, we're just gonna keep split pushing, and we'll split push all 3 lanes at the same time, and no matter what lane you go to, you're gonna lose either 1 or 2 towers on the other lanes. So it makes it a very, very difficult decision for the red team. Now the red team is forced to basically group up in mid. Swain was hit by Crescendo and a Dark Binding and in the pool, and Swain looks like he is going down, but he was able to barely survive. That was super, super close. Cat is just cleaning up now at this point, though. She got a double kill onto Ezreal now, and they are going to try to dive this Taric. It looks like Sona is taking turret aggro, so that's not good at all. We don't like AD carries tanking the towers. We'd much rather have somebody else do it. Tiger Stance coming down, though. Oh, no, he does Bear Stance back. And they're taking so much tower damage. It's really, really dangerous for them. Sona does ignite the Udyr, though. It seemed like she was about to go in on that. I guess she decided to back off. Shyvana is just going to go ahead and take their red, try to get some lifesteal. She is going to smite it, which is an odd choice in my opinion, because they just had the rest of the blue team spawn. So blue team, I would assume, knows that they're going to dragon, but I think that they're probably a little demoralized and think that they're too low to even contest dragon, which I guess is what red team was banking on, and that's what works. So if you can demoralize them enough to make them basically force it so they can't fight, that's great. That's going to be great. And Swain just goes down almost instantly. He was able to take down Morgana with them, but the Death Lotus coming out from Katarina is just so strong. It's just doing so much damage. You get snared inside the tormented soil, and it just counts down your MR, and then you start getting Star Cold, and it counts down your MR even more. That Death Lotus just does so much damage right on top of you once you can't move for a while. Super scary. I would really like to see Taric be a little bit more on the ball with those dazzles and focusing that cat right when she starts her Death Lotus. I think that would really bring the blue team back into this game. I mean, the game isn't over by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, we've seen people come back from a 15,000 gold deficit, but I think one of the reasons they're losing, I mean, obviously Katarina's 5-0-5 and Shyvana's 8-0-5. So if they can just stun Katarina out of her ult, that would help significantly. And just getting that instant dazzle or the instant bear stun will help immensely. They don't know how beneficial it will be. I think a lot of people underestimate Katarina's abilities and how much damage she actually does. She's like the AP version of Darius, I suppose. She's not quite, I don't know. She doesn't quite have that much because her ult doesn't refresh instantly when she gets a killer assist. It just gets reduced by 15 seconds, I think it is. But her ult's not on that long of a cooldown to begin with, and Shumpo does a boatload of damage. So, yeah, Shumpo does 387 damage. And Bouncing Blade does quite a bit. But Death Lotus is just absolutely insane. Chunk. Yeah, once you activate Killer Instinct, you're gonna do more damage with all your abilities. Or if you do a Shumpo, I think you take less damage. Yeah, 20% reduced damage from enemy attacks for 3 seconds. Bouncing Blade does full damage to every target, applies the healing reduction for 5 seconds, which is why I said it's super good for laning. You get like 1 level of early Killer Instincts just so whenever they start popping those potions, if you can hit them with the Killer Instincts Bouncing Blade, that potion's almost completely to waste. Ezreal ults basically face checks it with his ult, which is really good. because he was able to hear that they were all in there. But Katarina does go in there. She does get her Death Lotus off, but she does not get too much damage off. Ezreal just barely flashes out that Dark Binding, but was able to get away. They were able to, blue team was able to successfully disengage that fight. They did burn a few flashes, but so did the red team. The red team looks like it was just Morgana. Yeah, they might go in again. Shyvana does not have her ult, and neither does Katarina, so I'm super worried about that. But they do have the Soraka wish to keep them in the fight, to keep them in an extended fight. And by that time, Katarina's ult will definitely be open. And of course, Morgana's ult is always open when you don't want it to be. It's the worst part. It's the worst part about Katarina and Morgana. It's like if Morgana can get a stun off on 2 or 3 people, and Katarina can then Shumpo to one of them and then start a Death Lotus, that person's just dead. And then she can Shumpo to the other person and start Death Lotus, that person's dead. So I think they picked... Red Team has a really good team comp in that sense, as far as their 2 AP champions work really well together. They have an AoE CC person, and then they have, which is Morgana, and then they have an AoE like Ape Smash Your Face person, which is Katarina. And then they also have, you know, the Sona to do more AoE CC, and then the Soraka to keep up the Katarina just in case she gets damage. But most likely Soraka is going to be focusing all of her heals on the Shyvana, as the Shyvana is also incredibly tanky, and she's going to be just in the face the whole time. Just, I'm in your face, I'm in your face, and then she's going to eat your face, and you know, doing whatever dragons do nowadays, you know how it is. Katarina does use her item to slow down the Udyr, but was unable to do anything else. She did get bear stun, so I was a little surprised that she didn't start. Right after that Hextech Gunblade went off, Udyr did bear stun her, which is a little worrisome, because then she could have just started her ult instantly, and that would have proposed a whole lot of problems. But they are going to force a Baron fight, which I really like this. That was a really good ward placement by the blue team, because they were unable to see. That was good Ezreal ult. Oh, Morgana comes in with her ult, but nothing leashes on the second stun, so wasn't able to do anything. Dazzle comes out. Swain is still in there, but he's going to never move, and Katarina comes in, does get... yeah, Katarina is just going to pick up everything. Katarina, Shyvana. And Swain was able... Oh, the Dark Binding was so close. Yeah, Morgana flashed right in between. She did a perfect split of 2 and 3 people. So she had 2 people behind her and 3 people in front of her. And it just completely split the team up into 2. And then they were split right here, right between here. And so there's 1 person over here and then 2 people over here and then like 3 people over here. And it just wasn't good for them. Katarina does start her ult again, but she does go down. Swain also goes down from all of the magic resist shred and the damage per second that the Tormented Soil puts down. Shyvana is going to go, the red team is going to go for another dragon. She is kind of low, but she has the lifesteal to be able to keep herself up. Not really a big issue, especially with Morgana. The spell shield is really good here. Because the dragon, what a lot of people don't know, that dragon puts an attack speed debuff on whoever it's attacking. So that can actually be pretty significant. So to put that spell shield on them makes it so your attack speed can't be debuffed at that point, and then you're attacking at normal speed, you're taking the dragon down twice as fast, or just as fast as you normally would if the dragon wasn't even attacking you. It's really good. So it prevents Morgana from tanking, but also makes it so Shyvana can attack just as fast. So I really like that move on there too. Hopefully we'll see a forced Baron fight. It looks like they might go for the same thing. They're going to stick in this little tiny river bush and force a fight. Ezreal does throw an ult out, but does not hit over the Baron. He did know that it did not hit anybody though, because now that Ezreal ult gives vision, he was able to see this little area and was able to see that Baron. So they know that, the blue team knows that the red team is not there, which which is really, really what they wanted. The Ezreal ult doesn't do too much damage, so it's not a huge loss to lose it, but damage is damage. You can't really underestimate any form of damage, because sometimes people live with nothing. They live with 10, 20 health. And, you know, if you just had that one auto attack from your AP carry, then they would have died. That sort of thing. So it's really interesting to see how Ezreal's use their ults, because a lot of people just make fun of Ezreal, saying that he doesn't do any damage, which a lot of times is true, but, you know, sometimes if they can just kite around. They can jump over walls, back and forth. Just so much that it makes it really, really difficult for you to just catch him in general. And when you can't catch their AD carry, it doesn't necessarily matter if they're doing a ton of damage or if they're just doing limited. Ezreal ult does come up, the Dazzle comes out, but does not go on the Katarina, and that's what I was a little worried about. The ult does come out from the Kennen, but Katarina is still running amok and she's still shumping to everybody. She just gets stopped by the Swain, but does not prevent her for long. And she does pick up the rest of those kills. Katarina is just destroying people at this point. Yeah, they're not shutting down the people they need to shut down. I mean, you look at their 2 carries, they each only have 1 death. So Katarina has 10 kills, Shyvana has 11. They really tried to focus down Shyvana. Obviously, they did finally get her, which was really, really nice. But it's just so hard to... It's really hard to decide who to kill when they have 2 people on their team that both have over 10 kills. Or, you know, 10 at least. Super, super difficult to find out who to go for. It's usually just good to go for the first person. But I would still definitely save the CC for the people that do the burst or the sustained damage. So if you CC one person out of their ult, she would not have picked up one of those kills. I mean, the assists still tick down Katarina's ultimate and all of her other abilities, so she's still able to shumpo around, throw out the bouncing blades as much as she can, but it doesn't give her all the damage that she needs to, so it's possible to delay it out at least a little bit, and that's really what's needed at this point. You need to delay, because even if you CC Shyvana, she still has her burnout going around her. Even if you stun her, you pop her up, she still has that burnout going. She's still going to be doing damage to you. Everywhere she moved, you know, she's in dragon form, so it left fire on the ground, it burns, and you still take damage from that. It's super, super hard. Again, so they just go in there with balls to the wall, but Katarina does have her hourglass again, and she's able to go in there and just pop out, Shumpo, and do her Death Lotus, and now she's just going to do it again. She's got a Shumpo again. She's going to... Yeah, so this is pretty much going to be over now that... yeah, so that's going to be the surrender vote coming out. GG, good game, red team. That was a very unorthodox team composition, but it worked really well together. They had enough heals, they had enough CC, they had enough AoE CC, and then they had plenty of damage, and that's really all you need in a team. That coordination. Yeah, GG goes to the red team, and have a good day, guys. See you tomorrow.